Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Thinnest Veil podcast. I am your host, Dr. Melissa Bird, and I'm super excited because we're here with my friend Shannon Ivey, who I was part of a book anthology with. Um, and that's how we met. And then we stopped talking to each other because the book anthology thing was over and we lost each other. And then we found each other again in like some weird reunion episode about the book. Anyway, everybody, welcome Shannon Ivey to the show. I love you.
I love you. I'm so glad to be here. We had to do a few things, like in the span of time from that moment to now. There are some things that happened.
There were some things that happened, just a couple little things. Why don't you introduce yourself to my audience and tell them a little bit about you and what you do?
Oh, that's a great question.
It's loaded.
Uh, I'm Shannon Ivey. I'm currently in Columbia, South Carolina. That's
Wow.
so I'm on the other side.
Yeah.
I am by day, I am a coach currently working on storytelling for business. I'm like launching this new course because so many people, you're listening to us. I don't know when, but it's like 2025, late 2025.
That's
And a lot
when
of
it's happening.
people, yeah, there's like this economic, and a lot of people over the age of 40 are needing to start their own businesses. And so I'm like launching a course called Storytelling for Business that won't suck. So that's fun.
Yeah.
But really, I am a recovering theater professor, advocate for those on the margins, and an upcoming memoirist.
Yes. When does your book come out?
I think it's February 24th. It's
Oh
24th
my
to
God.
26th. It's
Can
so
people
soon.
pre-order it already?
Yeah, there's a link. The cover's out. It's beautiful. I took some photos. One of them was in a porta potty and I was wearing sparkly jacket. So it's ridiculous already. That was this week. Yeah.
That's ridiculous. Could you please tell people about your memoir? And
Yes.
let's go down that journey, shall we?
Okay. Yeah.
From sparkly jacket in a porta potty, rewind, flip it, and reverse it.
All right.
Tell us your story, Shannon.
I think your audience would appreciate knowing that the memoir is set, it starts the day before Trump was elected the last time.
Mm.
That was the day, spoiler alert, that I was diagnosed with late stage 3 colorectal cancer. And at that time, as a 42-year-old single mom living in South Carolina, that was really unusual. And so my nerdy brain, there was a lot of suffering, wailing, gnashing of teeth, a bit of an existential crisis. And most of my people didn't know how to handle it. So I was like the first to get divorced in my family, the first to get late stage cancer in my family, and my friends, really. And also like the first to come out, but that's later.
We'll
Uh,
talk about that in a minute.
yeah, that's later. So I love to write. I'm a theater kid. I'm an actor. I love short form storytelling. I learned how to write creative nonfiction, and writing was a way I could like try to understand what was happening. So I combined that with a ton of public health research. And I was very curious why Chadwick Boseman of Wakanda Forever is gone.
Mm,
We were diagnosed same stage. He
mm.
was 37, the best shape of his life. I was 42, not the best shape of my life. Why am I alive and he's not? And why are all these
Oh,
women getting, right? So I'm like, what? There's something about this. Is it gender? Is it race? What's going on? So I did a bunch of research and wrote about it. And now I have a memoir coming out called Welcome to the Shit Show.
I love that you named it Welcome to the Shit Show.
My family's not very excited about that. My
I'm sure
dad's
they're
an
not, but I
elder,
am. And I think everyone who's
right?
going to read it will be.
There's an asterisk in
Sure,
the
of course
shit.
there is, because you can't, yeah,
Yeah.
because publishing.
Yeah. So it's about colorectal cancer being in the gap between the old and the new treatment. There's a sharp uptick in women under the age of 45 getting colorectal cancer. I'm really concerned about that, which is one of the reasons why I wanted to talk to you again, because of your history with like, I call it like street to state house advocacy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you
Yeah,
got to
yeah.
think on
Yeah,
that.
we
There's some things I
connected on
want to
that.
do.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, it's
So
coming out soon.
So one of my favorite podcasters is Kate Buller.
Oh,
I love her.
the
And I love
queen.
how she talks about her cancer journey
Yeah.
so much.
Yeah.
Um, because I feel like the more young women that talk about their cancer journey,
Yeah.
the more other women will hear them and go get
Yeah.
screened for things, right? Will
Yeah.
pay attention to things, right?
Yeah.
So what was that? How did you figure out that you needed to advocate for yourself to get screened for something more than like what was going on for you physically and spiritually and emotionally that made you go, "Oh shit, I think something might be really wrong with me legitimately."
Well, first, like to hold all people who are assigned female at birth and diagnostics in this country, it's like really the only place I ever went was the OBGYN.
Right.
Really. And so that will come into play pretty
Yep.
soon. So also as like I was like a single mom with like my ex didn't wasn't like helpful or wasn't doing child support even though he should, all the things. So it
Right.
was very I was going through a kind of stressful decade.
Hmm.
My child is lovely. And now my child is turning
Of course.
16 very soon, very cool. But at the time, I was recovering from the end of my academic career as a theater professor.
Right.
And I had moved, there was like some job insecurity. I had landed in a job and I had just turned 42. Now, in my family, so here's where it gets tricky. In my family, we have gut issues.
Mm.
No one in my family can eat corn.
Oh yeah.
There's like stress, like I look just like one side of the family, and like there's diverticulitis and there's no cancer,
Hmm.
but there's all this stuff on that side. So it's just like, oh, you got an Ivy stomach, right? And even
Mm.
back when I was an actor, well, I am an actor, but when I was acting, there would be like two calls. There's like 5 minute call. They put a 15-minute call in for me. 15-minute call for Shannon to go to the bathroom because I like had this always weird digestion
Right.
forever. Okay, so things began to get worse, and here's where it got really confusing. Like my family goes into perimenopause early, so
Mm.
I was thinking that I was having perimenopause symptoms, and that's not where it was coming from.
Right.
Right. Okay. So as a Gen Xer, you think of your first colonoscopy at 50, right?
Yes.
Even though
Yeah.
it's moved back.
Yeah.
So in my span of time since I was diagnosed, it's moved back and the insurance is caught up to 45.
Hmm.
People still think it's 50. So I hope if they hear this, like don't feel
Yes.
shame, do something.
Yes. Please.
So I here's where I'm so glad. Like I was kind of a coach before I was a coach. My New Year's starts on my birthday, which is in less than a month. So I love talking about the tool that saved my life. Okay,
Mhm.
so what I do on every birthday, I avoid most humans. It's so weird. I've always done this. And I like have like a New Year's think and reflection.
Mm.
So I like thought through like the 8 dimensions of wellness, like the book we
Mm, yeah, from the
read.
book. Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't want to be overwhelmed because at the time my life was kind of a shit show. I was like coming out of a really difficult period, reestablishing in a new career, like just trying to raise my kid and just like be okay. So
Hmm.
I picked like two areas that I was like, I really need to focus. Number one, where are all my 401ks? They're they're everywhere. Like, what is this financial situation? This has been a little, post divorce. What? So I was like, I want to focus on that. And like my health, I'm just not feeling very good. And there were some symptoms. There were bathroom related symptoms that were new, not my norm.
Yeah.
So here's a part of the tool. I call it the tool that I used. See, I would avoid it.
Oh,
I love to
sure.
avoid things. Whoop,
Yeah.
whoop, whoop.
Yeah.
So I avoided it until my friend was like, you were gonna eat chicken wings with me for your birthday. And my kid's birthday is 2 days before mine. So we're all gonna go out to eat. And that's when I decided, okay, I'm gonna do the process, think about the things, pick two areas I want to work on, and I'm
Yeah.
gonna tell her. Because my friend Helen, who's in the book, means business. She's like 10 years older than me, and she is a
Mhm.
great accountability partner.
She's not messing around.
Nope, I
No.
told her what was happening,
Mhm.
and it's a long process in the book. I told her what was happening, and I also knew, see, my little brain, I knew she goes and gets colonoscopies like every 3 years, but she's,
Sure.
everyone signed off on their info in the book. So she won't be mad I said it. And I knew she always had polyps and yet never had cancer. So
Sure.
I told her, her face dropped,
Oh,
and I was like, oh, shit.
oh shit.
Right.
Yeah.
So she started making phone calls and got me in the day before the, no, she got me in like a week before the election in 2016. And then I had a colonoscopy the day before the election.
Oh, dear Lord.
Yeah, it was a really shitty week.
Yeah, it was a shitty week.
Whoo. And then I didn't tell anyone.
Oh, God. Well, of
I
course,
know.
'cause you're just getting a colonoscopy, right? Everybody does.
Right. But then they're like, boom, late stage 3 cancer. And so then I
Wow.
had to learn how to navigate the healthcare system on my own with a kid.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if I hadn't, it was so late. If I hadn't done what I did at 42, I'd be dead.
Yeah.
I
Isn't that
was so
crazy
close
to
to
think
stage
about?
4. I
Right.
mean, I still am shocked they haven't found it somewhere else.
Right.
There was lymph nodes involved. There's all kinds
Yeah.
of wild.
Isn't it crazy? Like when I listen to you talk and tell your story, and we'll get to the coming out thing in a second,
Yeah.
but the thing
Yeah.
when you think about one of the things that continually fascinates me about being a person, like being a human being,
Yeah.
is I often think with wonder at all of the things, all of the people, all of the things that have had to fall into place in order for me to be here
Yes.
on Wednesday, September 24th at 54 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Like
Right.
all of the puzzle pieces that go into place on this spiral of life that we're on.
Yeah.
Like this person, Helen, that you talk about in the book. Imagine a world where you'd never known her.
I know.
Like this is why I talk about this is why my podcast is called The Thinnest Veil, honestly, Shannon, because like the veil is thin.
Very.
The way the divine works in us and through us is bananas.
Is, and it's still continuing. Like
Yes.
watching, like even like from the point of like deciding to go to this writers conference in Columbia, South Carolina, deciding to go to this workshop with editors, hearing
Right.
about the specific lane of academic publishing, because mine has 2 lanes. I have I want things for the book and they're medical education-y, right? I want to go
Yeah.
that way.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they're
Yeah.
for every other woman. There's no other except for Kate Bowler, because that didn't exist before Kate Bowler.
No,
The
it
only
didn't.
book about cancer that I could connect to with my ideology was Eve Ensler's In the Body of the World. And
Right.
that was, and she had money. Like she
Yeah.
even talks about it, the amount of privilege she had to get the type of care she had. And I was broke and alone and in
Right.
a town. I had just moved to Columbia barely a year before. I didn't
That
have,
is
I
bananas.
didn't have family there. And anyway, my
That is
family and
bananas.
I didn't agree. So
So you get through cancer treatment, clearly, because there you are.
yeah,
And you're a single mom, you got your kiddo.
yeah.
And then you're like, well, I'm not dead.
So weird not to be dead.
So weird not to be dead.
Yeah, you know, my therapist said,
Hmm.
she said, because my body is now jacked up. She
Oh,
said,
for sure.
oh yeah. So she said, I wonder if you're more afraid of living with this invisible disability that cannot be fixed
Mhm.
or death. I don't know which one is scarier for you. And I said,
Mhm.
I think trying to live with this invisible disability and be able to make enough money and work and raise my child well is scarier than death.
Yes.
Dying, well, that's a little something else, but death,
Yeah.
it's like, and scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, Interesting that you brought in that idea of being someone now with a disability. Because boy, we really don't want to talk about that.
Oh, and definitely not the ones that are related to the bathroom.
No.
No, we don't want to talk about food.
Mm-mm.
We don't want to put a lady or a mom. We definitely don't want to make bathrooms accessible. You want to like
Everybody.
buy something. Hmm.
Mhm.
Well, it even, and I will be honest with you, I was just at a colorectal cancer. I'm a empowered patient leader for free for a place called Colon Town, which is really helpful for me throughout treatment. And so I volunteer for them. Even with that group of people, I was like, assume they would understand
Yeah.
how jacked up I am.
Hmm.
And I had to have difficult conversations around food allergies. Is this a preference? And I'm like, I would like to stay in the room and listen to what you have to say. In Salt Lake City, it's not a preference. Like if one thing goes wrong, I'm stuck in the bathroom. And then like you flew me here for nothing. I mean,
Yeah.
Salt Lake is nice. I'd like to see it. I'd like to hang out.
Oh, Salt Lake is beautiful. It's one of my favorite places. It may or may not be the place I was born. I don't know.
Oh, wow.
Or did you know that?
No, I
Born and
was
raised in
there.
Utah. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Isn't it beautiful?
Yeah.
Can you believe those mountains? Can you
Shocking.
believe those stinking mountains?
Shocking. I'm
Aren't
like
they
gobsmacked.
beautiful?
People say because I love the mountains I'm near, and but there it's no
No, the
same.
Wasatch Mountains are, people don't understand. Like I talk about the Wasatch Mountains as if they are like they are a spirit entity unto
Yes,
themselves. They are like, I
my
miss
people
them.
didn't make it that far.
Yeah, I
They
miss them
don't stop.
terribly. I miss them so much every day. Isn't
They'd
that
love
weird?
to see you. No,
Oh,
I
they
get.
would love to see me. I'm sure I mean, I was just there last year, but anyway. Okay. No. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, distractions. Let's talk about you coming out because you're not dead
No.
and you've addressed that you have a disability now and you've addressed that
Yes.
you almost died of colon cancer.
Yep.
And so let's talk about you coming out.
So here's the thing about my body. It knows something before I do.
Always.
So the years down the road, like it still took me years down. Well, one, no, okay, 2016, 2020. It took COVID. And my kid is coming out in his way. But I am like, do you Enneagram? I'm an Enneagram 8. So I
Yeah.
protect,
Yes. I understand.
right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So my family is conservative and fundamentalist. And I was like, we were about to go on a vacation with my family in Gatlinburg, Tennessee. And I'm like, oh no,
Oh dear God.
not going to go well. So I'd had experience with my kids' queer friends in fifth grade. They know so much nowadays. And
Mhm.
they were calling me out saying, like, so Marco says you don't date women, but you look like a, and then they said slang words for
Mhm.
a queer woman.
Mhm. You look like a dyke.
Yes. And I
Hmm.
was like, ah. And I looked at Marco, who knew that I'm on the spectrum of all the things. And
Hmm.
I play with gender and I just am like Peter Pan as if
Hmm.
played by a woman. Do you know? I'm just like,
Yeah.
I just didn't enforce gender on my human that I birthed. Anyway, I just had to push. I came out, but I did one last thing. So I told my parents I was queer. I explained queer and I as a test on Father's Day 2021.
Oh God, love you.
I couldn't get the lawnmower to start, which is also very queer. So I was like, let me just call dad. I had prepared a whole letter, a speech. So I called him on Zoom and did this whole thing. And then he made me do this to my mother. I was just trying to explain to like get ahead of my son's announcement. I was testing it for my kid. I still hadn't made the leap in life. So I
Hmm.
had one last date
Hmm.
with a doctor who was a male doctor who's cis male doctor driving up from Charleston to meet me.
Hmm.
I went to anthropology. I can't afford anthropology, but I was just like trying to find something, I guess, not queer to wear. Like I was just like, I was so lost. I was like, where am I going to go to anthropology? I was like looking at dresses. I'm like, I don't know. So I picked up things and I went to the dressing room. This is in COVID, right?
Hmm.
Mask on. I put the things there. Oh, I haven't even written about this yet. So you're getting it hot and fresh.
Ooh,
I'm in
yay.
the dressing room
Hmm.
and I pass out,
Oh shit.
hit my head on the bench. I don't know how long I was there, but I woke up at the bottom of the dressing room having
Holy
to fight
shit,
on
Shannon.
pneumonia. Right. No one had heard me. I'm just there. I could have died for trying to find something to wear for a man. Had a huge bump on my, no blood, had a huge bump. I just left the dressing room and like put the mask and like went to my car and took the mask off when I was in my car. And I was like, I heard myself say, I will never make myself do this again.
Yes.
Texted him and I'm like, I think I have COVID. Sorry, kid. He was like, oh, I'm so sorry. Thanks for letting me know. It's just about to get in the car. I'm like, no, I'm sorry. We never spoke again.
Right.
And that's the last moment I considered abandoning what I knew. My body took me all the way out. It was
Yep.
like, this is too much.
Too
This
much.
bush.
Yep.
Yeah.
I remember when I came out, I was, we're recording this on Bisexuality Awareness Week, which I always kind of make fun of a little bit because I'm like, is it just because we're so invisible we need to be aware? Like the LGBT community does not recognize us.
They don't, and that's a
Community
shame.
does not recognize us. Like, there's all these jokes about bi now and gay later and like, you know,
Still bi,
still
but I'm
bi.
not dating men.
Right. But the reason I'm bringing this up is also I won Dykes to Drag in the year 2000, so yes.
I need
Um
photo evidence of this.
oh, I have the whole video on DVD. Oh, it exists. I still have it.
Digitally.
Oh, I know. I need to get it downloaded and put onto onto the computer. It's amazing. It's truly amazing.
Gosh,
Um maybe I'll revive that for like my coming out
please,
story. I'll revive it.
please.
So,
October
National Coming
11th.
Out Day is coming.
Okay, we're gonna do some.
We'll talk
Yes,
about that.
yeah.
Okay, so but I told my boss, who was also one of my very good friends, because I needed to get divorced from my ex-husband because I had fallen in love with a woman. And I told my boss, whose husband was an attorney, who was going to be my attorney for my divorce. And she just looked at me and she's like, "Yeah, okay, we all know. So could you go and get the spreadsheet for me? Because I really need it by the end of the day." And I was like, and I'm shaking and I'm like dying and I'm thoroughly convinced that Susan would be like, "Oh my God, you're gay. What?" And every person I came out to, Shannon, like, I think I'm a lesbian. And
That's the
they're
same
like, "Yeah,
thing.
no, duh. Can you like go do this for me?" And I'm like, "No,
Like
wait,
you or
I
she,
just told you something very big." And they're like, "We don't care."
they
And it's
don't
so
care.
annoying because I'm thinking I'm going to have some big story and someone's going to be like, "Oh, no," or okay. Like I came out to my grandparents and they were like, "This was a great story." I come out to my grandmother and because she's like, why don't you, I had gotten divorced from John and she's like, are you dating? You need to meet a nice boy. And I said, well, I am dating. And she said, oh, um, what's his name? And I said, well, her name is the name. And and she sat there for a minute. She goes, Grant. She starts yelling for my grandpa who's in the other room. And he comes toddling in his little old man way. And he's like, what? And she goes, Grant, Missy's one of those. And he said, one of what? And she goes, one of those lesbians. And my grandpa goes, now, Mary, we've talked about this. I've told you there's a continuum, and you have straight people over here, and you have gay people over here. And my guess is Missy just succumbs somewhere in between. Did you make lunch yet? And I was like, why aren't we freaking out? My grandpa, now, Mary, I've told you about this. And then my grandma's like, well, is she nice? I said, yes, she's very nice. And my grandma's like, okay.
I love this for you. I lost my last grandmother this year,
Mm,
97. She had
holy cow.
three husbands. That's my mom's side. My
Wow.
dad's side is where I get most of my stuff. Yeah. So that she would ask me things like, oh, this new haircut you have is quite masculine. And I'm like, well, and I just made cancer jokes. I'm like, well, after cancer, it's just, it does what it does. Just sort of like, I decided for that grandmother that her spirit will get to know.
Oh, her spirit.
Mine
Well, her
knows.
spirit already
Of
knew.
course.
Let's
I
be
know.
honest. Um, so this coming out journey, because I mean, we're sitting here giggling about it and laughing about it, but coming out, that's a spiritual process. That's not just
It's
you're
about
coming out of the
love.
closet. Yeah. It's a process because you
Oh,
have to love yourself enough to stop hiding from yourself who you are at your core. What has that been like for you?
you know what's not in the book, and the thing that I mourned, I was just inconsolable about leaving my kid without me
Hmm.
at that point in his life, because he was 7 when I was diagnosed.
Yeah.
Second thing, the realization that my kid has never seen me be loved well.
Mm.
Still hasn't. I just saw him. He now lives with his dad, so that's another story for another day, in California,
Hmm.
because that is he has better access to resources there.
Yeah.
Lots of look at all the therapy it took for me to say that, just like
That was
that.
very good. Look at you.
Thank you. We've worked
So
hard.
excited for you.
Release and let it stretch.
Yeah,
Umbilical
that's
cord
right.
stretch.
That's right.
I I realized that that was the saddest thing. That was going to be the saddest thing. Like if it was going to take me, and colon cancer, when people get late stage, they go fast. I
Hmm.
lost 2 friends in weeks. They get diagnosed, gone in a few weeks. I don't mean to scare
Yes.
anyone, but it's like
Yeah.
wild.
Yeah.
So I was like, I cannot continue to not know what it is like to be loved. But I had a lot of work. I mean, I really am new to this. So you're meeting a new me.
Hmm.
I mean, I had to date poorly than in the queer community. And it was very confusing because I was somewhere between millennials and hardcore old school lesbians. I make no
Hmm.
sense to either of them.
No.
I have sensibilities of some, and I am look like the age of, well, it's still cute, but I'm still like, I didn't make any sense. And so I had to find someone. So I do have a partner. I don't think we'll ever get married. I'm not going to say her name. She does live in another state, but we do see each other twice a month.
Hmm.
She was married to a man also.
Hmm.
And she doesn't like labels or whatever, but
Sure.
it is the gayest thing I have ever been a part of. The soberest thing. Like I
Yes.
wanted to be loved well and sober. I
Oh my God.
wanted to
Yes.
be naked with someone. Sorry, anyone who knows me.
Sober. Oh no.
Sober in the
Sober.
morning. I had never experienced that.
No.
Wild. That's what I am.
And it's so typical. I remember when I came out, I found a book called From Wedded Wife to Lesbian Life. It's the cheesiest ass book ever, but it was like I
True.
it's so good. It's all these stories of married women who came out from wedded wife to lesbian life. I'm telling you.
That's it's. When
I
did
don't
that?
remember who wrote it. I don't even have it anymore. But like the sober thing, the I have said this a lot in my activism. I feel like a lot of the reason, because where you go mostly to meet LGBT people is at a bar,
Yep.
especially as an adult, right? And there is so much around that culture of drinking, especially for, I found this in my lesbian community, right? Like
Yeah. So much.
so much alcohol. And what are we drowning?
I'm
And
not
how do you have a healthy relationship with someone when we're drowning in booze?
I two of my friends, we have a group called Queer Writers of Columbia. And
Ooh.
so that was, and I love them. And like, I think I'm the oldest one that goes, but I just think they're great. And there's a lot of like emerging leaders there. So I'm
Mhm,
watching
mhm,
them, that makes me excited. And I'm in a state capital. So,
mhm.
it's not a political group, but we're very
Yeah.
aware and
You
active
do
there.
activist stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So what's cool is this year I like put a whole kibosh on it. Like
Mhm.
I'm like, y'all, I am not drinking.
Yeah.
So they begin to do things outside of bars and restaurants. And 2 other people are completely sober out of that core group.
Mhm.
We're beginning to like be awkward and ourselves and look for other ways to be together that has nothing to do with alcohol. And the fact that there's three of us is really lovely in this small group. Do you know? Like I even went to an AA meeting that was just for queer folks to
Mhm.
support my friend.
Mhm.
Tested that out. I think that is amazing for some people.
For people that it works for, yeah.
Oh yeah. And so it's just like there's so many ways to be sober.
Yeah.
But really what I wanted to be able to do is really experience love
Yeah.
and all of it. And at my age, to be able to do all of that sober, I'm like,
Well, and to be like vulnerable and open to it, like when you're opening yourself up to love, you're opening yourself up to heartbreak.
of course,
Mhm.
of
Yeah.
course.
So that possibility that you can be so deeply loved more than you've ever been loved, and also that your heart could potentially get broken, right? Like
Yeah.
there's something really, I mean, I think the thing I love about talking with you, Shannon, is like, I think as I'm talking with you, I think about how we're all gonna die. We all know we're
Yes.
gonna die. Like it's inevitable. You're born and then you die.
Yeah.
And
And
those
it's quick.
things are given. And then
Yeah.
everything else in between is the journey of being a human being, right?
Yeah.
So you face death and then you realize that you don't want to die without being loved deeply.
And I didn't put that in the book. Isn't that wild? I stop on
Well,
this.
that's because there's another book,
Oh
goofball.
my, it's the queer book.
It's the queer book.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, tell me, so anyway, I just wanted to reflect that back to you because I think it's
Thank
really
you.
beautiful.
Thank
Tell me why you use the word queer.
queer is political.
Mm-hmm.
My visibility as a queer person is intentional.
Mm-hmm.
It is queer is it means like whatever you're thinking about me, I'm probably going to do like this with it. Some of which I mean to, some of which I don't. So it's like it's upending relationship structure and in the way that looks. It's like flipping. It's so funny. Like even within the queer community, my one of my sober friends that's a writer was like, why don't you like the word butch? And I'm like, because my partner would tell you that I'm the girliest of the two of us, but if you saw us, you'd be like, classify me as butch just
Mm-hmm.
because short hair, got big personality, do you know?
I'd say more of a chapstick lesbian, personally.
And so that makes sense, but my partner would be like, my amor, Spanish is her first language. My amor loves lipstick, is what she would say, and purses, and she's the fashionista. Do you
Mhm.
know? So like when I think chapstick, I think of my partner.
Mhm.
It's like I don't even take those. Like queerify the
I know. The labels are so bananas. And that's why I wanted you to talk about identifying as queer, because I think it's so interesting. Because, of course, it's taking back the word, right? That's why I'm
absolute.
unapologetic about using the word dyke, because I
My
can't.
first date was with a queer professor, like a professor of queer studies,
Hmm.
who looked like Alison Bechtel, and I was like, I won the lottery. This is gonna work. And it did not. It was terrible. And I was weird. And it was just, and at the end of it, and nothing happened, but at the end of it, she looked at me and said, you need to find a dyke bar. And I'm like, why do you say this? And she said, because you don't know where you fit in the queer world. See, the thing is,
And the thing is, why do you have to fit anywhere in the queer world? We're the gays.
what right? I'm like, but that's my
We're not
job.
misfits. We're not supposed to fit anywhere.
And she wanted someone to fit. So
Oh,
she
yeah.
was probably a little old school. And then in
Oh,
my
man, those old
town,
schools.
in
Yeah.
my town, there's like poly everything.
Oh, yeah.
So for me, I am an introvert and I go to bed early. And so,
Yeah.
like when you're sober, I'm like, well, I'm
Yeah.
gonna hang out in bed. So
Yeah.
okay. On the one last thing I want to tell you about my queerness with this partner, not with who I've dated, but in the years,
Yes.
this partner, I've never rested better
Mm.
in my life. Like I
Okay.
get near her body and I'm just like,
Uh,
she's a Taurus and
Mm.
cozy and she loves that. Like I'm a busy bee when she's not here, but then she gets here. Like this weekend, I do a lot of cooking, we do a lot of resting. We
Mhm.
might watch TV, we drink, I make coffee. I mean, it's just cozy times. It's the best.
I love that for you.
Me too.
It sounds perfectly delightful.
So fun.
Um, is there anything about your story that we haven't touched on that you want people to know about this adventure you call life?
I think the thing that I hope people will do is to give them, especially people Gen X-ish.
Mm.
We, I'm gonna speak for myself. I was raised in compulsory a lot of things. And I'm not mad at my parents about that.
No.
Like in my coming out, I was like, there were words for me. We didn't know what they were. I didn't know what they were. I had no idea. My parents did the best they could.
Mhm.
Were there some missteps? Of course. And I have made missteps with my own children. But
Oh, sure.
I feel like at our age, there are opportunities. It's not done yet. Until you are not on this physical plane, there's opportunities to try something. And I see so many people resigning themselves to, I don't like to crumbling. And I just really like, this is the coach me. I'm like, what do you want to do now? And I wonder, there's a study, there's lots of studies about confidence and people assigned female at birth. 9 years old is the highest level of confidence. And so I'm very curious. 9-year-old me didn't want to be an actor. 9-year-old me wanted to be a writer and a lawyer. Now, I don't want to go back to law school, but I am at the state house. So I'm really curious about that loop back to nine, that 8, 9-year-old. I'm not a therapist, so I don't want to go where we go down. I want to know, can we, after the estrogen, and here's what I also didn't write about in the book, after radiation, menopause, medical menopause.
Of course.
That turned a switch on in my head that helped me advocate for myself. And I'm
Mhm,
so curious about the women I'm seeing like you running
mhm,
for Congress.
mhm.
I'm wondering if they're menopausal. And
Oh,
I,
I went into medical menopause when I was 42.
me too.
41. I was 41.
Oh,
Ooh, it's
so
10 years this year. How exciting.
I feel I'm turning 51 in a month. So I
I
feel
am
like
too.
there's something to that.
Mhm. I'm turning 51 in a week because I'm 10-1.
Libras, we out
That's
here.
right.
We
We're
out here.
maybe. Mhm.
So I feel like that is worth investigating. And there are lots of books about menopause, but like estrogen decreases and it gives you the ability to question what you've thought before
Mm.
and to also love on that old
Yes.
version.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Two things popped in my head.
Okay.
One, uh, guess what I wanted to be when I was 9? The President of the United States of America.
It's not done yet.
It's
We just
not
getting
done
started.
yet.
We just getting started.
The second thing that pops into my head is that I love that you're talking about confidence, and I'm sure you and I could have 300 other episodes of this podcast,
Yeah.
which we probably should. Um, I have a really good friend, Soraya Shmali, who wrote a book called Rage Becomes Her. And then,
I
yes,
have it.
yes. So I actually just received her new book in the mail as a total surprise with a lovely note from her that she has a new book coming out. Um, but her second book is called The Resilience Myth. And everybody in the land, y'all listening, everybody in the land needs to read this book because resilience is not actually real.
I
Compassion
appreciate.
is real.
Yes.
Love is real.
Yes.
We're not meant to be resilient, y'all. We are having a human experience with all of its ups and all of its downs. And that is what I love about talking to you, Shannon, because it reflects back to me the beauty of this just giant mess of a life.
Hot mess.
It's such a disaster.
Oh,
And
yes.
it's so beautiful.
Yes. And it's like the thing I practice every day now, not every day, 5 days, 4 to 5 days a week. let me be honest. That's another thing. I like to be honest. 4 to 5 days a week, I lift weights in the gym.
Go you.
I know. Well, it was a thing. It was again year audit. I was like, I can't open a can. So in
Yes.
2023, I went back to the gym and I
Hmm.
wanted to like conquer something I was afraid of,
Hmm.
weights,
Hmm.
because those people look like beasts.
Hmm.
So I every day as I challenge myself to do 5 pounds more, I also remind like Sisyphus, you push that rock up, Shannon Ivey put it down. So
Yeah.
I lift hard things and I put them down.
Yes.
What being loved well has taught me is that that is a beautiful compliment.
Yes.
And there are things that she brings me, but there's also things I bring myself now. I know myself really well. So I balance my introversion with my peopling. I know like the sweet spot of how much I need to bring in for my income. I have a chicken that cracks me up. Do you know, it's like I take dog walks and I read and and I am not drinking alcohol and I just do these things because that's love.
Yes.
And if people, like I recently had a situation where I was working with a group of people and some disrespect was on the table. Old Shannon would have been like, I'm so sorry. They weren't paying me yet, by the way. 4 months. I was like, I'm so sorry. I'll fix it. And I was like, actually, I don't think this is a good fit. And then
Yeah.
this Shannon doesn't stay around to fix it. That took me 50 years and almost dying. Why?
Yes.
Because love feels so much different than disrespect.
Yeah.
But I know what that feels like now. Not
Yeah,
that
and
I
that is that physical what that story is the story of the question the answer to the question, what would feel like love right now?
Mm,
We hear that I've seen that on a meme or two.
mhm.
You hear it in the spiritual coachy, the white
Yeah.
light and love space a lot. I don't love the question, but I do love what happens when you ask the question. And you didn't ask yourself that question directly, but like you being in that space and going, well, I've been here for 4 months and I haven't been paid yet, and some shit is hitting the fan right now.
Yeah.
You didn't have to outwardly ask yourself what would feel like love right now. You looked at it and went, this is a pile of garbage.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm not the right fit.
No. And
Not
my
that the people are garbage and
no,
not that like no, it's
no.
just I'm not supposed to be in this space.
Yeah. My meditation teacher said to me, I was talking to him about this, and he said, when you are holding a cup of hot coffee and someone jostles you, what comes out? And I said, hot coffee. He said, right. So in that interaction, when you asked this person you're collaborating with for some assistance, some help, what came out of them was disrespect. That just means they're holding a lot of disrespect for whatever reason.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
I don't need to know the origin of the beans
No.
of the coffee or like how they made it. Did you Keurig or whatever? I just that's what she was holding, and I needed to say thank you,
Mm.
and we're done with this experiment.
Yes.
Yeah,
And it doesn't have to come with a bunch of shit.
no, I would have
Yes.
not this time. Now I know it's
And I know.
take an
I
exit.
know.
Yeah,
I love this.
yeah.
I could go on all day, but we've already gone on for quite some time. And
I know I love
I don't know
talking.
if people are still listening to us or not. I hope they are. I hope they're having a good time like we are.
Yeah.
Shannon Ivy, where can people find you if they want to like find you?
Yeah, I'm easy to find. If you search Shannon Ivey, if I'm not like the plant, they can also go to shannon-ivy.com. I always do like that because I lost my actual domain name in the divorce. So it's a dash in between Shannon and Ivy. On Instagram, which I love Facebook and Instagram. Instagram is easy to tell you at yes, it's Shannon Ivy.
Yes, it's Shannon. Yes, it is. Shannon Ivy.
And just like my tattoo says, I'm right here.
You're
I'm
right
right
there.
here. Yeah. So as long as I'm
Um,
here on this earth, I'm here.
I love you. Thank you for being here with me today.
Thank you.
Everybody, thank you for listening. I'm Dr. Melissa Bird, the host of the Thinnest Veil podcast. If you want to come play with me, you can find me at birdgirl1001 on Substack, Instagram, Facebook. Uh, and I think that's all. Oh,
What Congress?
uh,
What's your Congress website?
hold on, I'm getting there. I
Okay,
forgot
okay,
my
okay.
YouTube handle, which is Dr. Melissa Bird, I think. I'm also running for Congress, and you can find me at melissabirdforcongress.com and also on the socials at Melissa Bird for Congress. Shannon, thank you so much for chatting with me today. I love your face.
I love your face. Keep on going.
You too, honey.